Hello, my friends and fellow speakers. This is Brian, the Speaker for the Dead, coming to you today from the seat of my truck. I'm out on the road this week and realized I haven't done one of these videos in quite a while and wanted to make up for that. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about Star Trek Lower Decks. Oh yes, I know. The ill-fated expedition of stupid. But hey, I feel like it's an important subject and something that I deeply care about, and so I feel like I should probably talk about it a little bit. Now, I want to get this out of the way right off the bat. I have not seen a single episode. I have not watched 1 second, or maybe a second worth of whatever little clips that someone has shown or that they've released online. But overall, like, almost next to nothing. So understand that this review is not of the show itself, or what's in it, or the characters. This is a review of the concept, and kind of a review of the reviewers and reviews that it's getting, because I'm seeing a trend. Now, is Star Trek Lower Decks a great idea? No. Making a comedy Star Trek series is like making a comedy film about Auschwitz, about the Holocaust. Okay, their comedy and the Holocaust don't go together. Bathroom stupid humor and Star Trek don't go together. Okay, if you want that, there's the Orville, and the Orville does it better than anything else in that genre. Okay, it's Seth Meyers knows what he's doing. I mean, he's the master of that kind of humor and stuff. It is completely out of place in Star Trek. They do not work in the same universe. And all this is a cheap attempt by CBS to try and cash in on the success of the Orville, because they don't have any original ideas of their own. They have to just try and rinse, copy, and repeat what everybody else is doing. That's why they did Picard, and why Picard looks like it does is because the Expanse has been doing so well. So they tried to make a show like the Expanse. Instead of being leaders, which is what they used to be, they've become followers in the genre. Trying to copy what everybody else is doing instead of blazing new trails and going where no TV show's gone before. They seem to have lost the ability to do that. And a lot of that comes down to money. Like they see Star Trek as just a vehicle for making money. They don't see it as a creative, innovative, amazing cultural phenomenon that has affected culture all over the world. I mean, we got flip phones because of Star Trek. We got half the thing, the log pads that you see. Well, we have iPads and all kinds of different pads out there now for technology. So much of that stuff was all the brainchild of Gene Roddenberry and the creators of Star Trek. That's where he inspired people to innovate and to be creative. He helped build the future with his vision of science fiction, and that's what Star Trek's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a follower. The humor in Star Trek was always very cerebral, was always very intelligent and witty and urbane and sarcasm and the higher forms of comedy. They left the lowbrow stuff to other shows. And that's where it belongs. It doesn't belong in Star Trek. I mean, you could probably infuse more humor into Star Trek, but you have to be careful what kind of humor you're using. Otherwise, it doesn't fit. It does not work in a Star Trek universe. And I'm not saying that you couldn't do that. You couldn't, because I mean, look at what Seth has done with the Orville. It's a great show. Is it Star Trek? No. And it's not trying to be Star Trek. It's trying to be Star Trek-esque, which is okay. Because Seth is a huge fan of Star Trek. Did fan films when he was a kid. Like so many of us. If I'd had a camera back then, I'd have probably done one. But this whole Lower Decks thing and watching people get on to hate review it seems silly and almost redundant. If you're just watching it to hate it, to do the hate review, why? Why are you doing that? Now, I can see guys like Script Doctor, I follow his reviews on it, because he's coming at it from a clinical, surgical writing perspective, which is fascinating to me, where he can show what they could have done better, where they could have went, how the humor might have worked. It's really interesting to do. But these people who get on and just go, it's not Star Trek, and I hate it, and Gene Roddenberry hated it, well, that's a given. That's a given. Gene Roddenberry would be disgusted, I think, by what all of it done with Star Trek ever since 2009. The original J.J. Abrams film, the first one, was okay. It was an alright Star Trek film. But since that, nothing's been good. Nothing. They flushed the movies and TV and everything just down the toilet. Now, there's going to be a lot of people who, how can you say that? You've never seen it. Right. Well, I've never eaten a crap sandwich either. I don't have to try one to know I'm not going to like that either. Okay, I've tried enough of it. I tried watching Picard, one episode. No. I was like, one episode in, I was like, okay, I'm good. And I don't need any more of that in my brain. Just the very concepts that they put out for Star Trek Discovery put me off that before it ever got a chance. When their advertising for it was just horrendous. I'm just like, oh, well, all right. Because they've turned it into a platform for politics, for socialism, for identity politics, for all of this other stuff, which Star Trek never was. When Star Trek used political themes in its shows originally, it was thoughtful and thought-provoking and showed multiple sides of an issue. Never came out preachy trying to tell you what was right or wrong. It was trying to make you think about it yourself to decide what was right or wrong. And that's what I loved about Star Trek. It's thought-provoking. It made you think. You couldn't just sit there and watch an episode. That's not what Star Trek was. It's not what it was ever intended to be. I'm just grateful for the years of Star Trek we've got, and I'm not going to hate watch this stuff. I'm just going to avoid it like the plague. I'll let other people review it that I trust, and then I'll listen to them. But as for all these other people who are just hate reviewing it, you're not getting my clicks. I'm not watching your stuff, because I don't need to pour more anger and frustration into my life. I have plenty. I'm full. I'm good. But I mean, just laugh it off. Laugh this garbage away. It'll either succeed or it won't. If it succeeds, well, yay for them. But I still have what I love. I still have the old stuff. And time moves forward, and we have to move forward with it. We don't have to like what they're doing, and I sure as heck won't support them or give them 1 red cent of my money for the garbage they're creating. But hey, you bought the property. I didn't have the money to buy the property, so all right, you own it. But you also get the blame for whatever horror show you set out in front of it. Because that's what this is. It's Rick and Morty in space. And why would I do that unless the guy who actually created Rick and Morty was doing it? And we already have Rick and Morty. Why do we need a Star Trek version of that? I mean, I never watched Rick and Morty. It's okay. I'm all right. I survived without it. But hey, people love it. And great. More power to you. That's just not really my cup of tea. I'd rather go watch a fantastic anime or old Looney Tune cartoons to get my jollies. But it's sad that we're seeing so many people watch it just to hate it. Guys, it's not worth it. It's not. Don't do that. that doesn't end in a happy place for you. Yeah, you might get clicks, might make you feel a few bucks off of it, but in the long run, you're going to hurt for it because that stuff's going to be stuck with you. You're going to internalize it, and you don't need that. Now, it's one thing I love about Loki from Loki's Mornings of Mischief, and Trey from Max World Entertainment, and so many other guys out there, that even as they're watching it, they're trying to find that grain of something that they can be positive about. They realize what it is what it is, and they're honest about it, but they're not there to just crap on it for the sake of crapping on it to get clicks. And I respect them for that. I appreciate their perspective on it. Some of the other people, they're just doing it just to hate it. And that's silly. That's silly. That doesn't get you anywhere. Unless you're going to dissect it clinically, okay, maybe. But anyway, that's my review. If you don't like the concept, if you don't think it's going to be a good thing, just don't watch it. Just don't. Just avoid it like I do. That's the best way to review it. You know what? I gave it a pass. I gave it a 0 out of 0 watches. Best review I've ever done. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all of your eyeballs on my channel. And we will be doing some shows this coming weekend. We've got Expanding the Expanse coming up on Saturday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we are reviewing Season 1, Episode 4. We're watching the episode together and doing a review. And on Sunday at 5 p.m., we will be doing Speaking with the Speaker, where I will be covering the anime One Punch Man. Fantastic, hilarious show. And I'm going to have some special guests on there again to help me review that one. So I hope you'll join me. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you next time. This is Speaker from the Road. I'm out.